there, and welcome back to another video here on Mischief Art. Finally, I think this is the first video I've said the name of this channel. It was two other names before we finally got to Mischief Art, but I will not be going into how we got that name today. Now today we're going to discuss again drawing the face. Now I know some of you like drawing the face with the circle and then putting the lines through it, dividing up the face, but I've mentioned I've got problems with proportion and my eyes sometimes turned out too big or it's gonna be too small, and it's a very hard time to just get everything right. So the camera's not really picking up much of the graphite as I can see right now, but it picks up a bit. I'm sorry if something is on a bit too loud. I am watching Grimm in my living room while completing this video. Now the first thing I'm going to go into is drawing the eyes. Now in my previous video I've discussed how I go about putting where I want the eyes. I would draw a line across and a line underneath that to just say where the lines are, and it is said that the face can be divided into 5 equal parts, which you're going to see in a video that's going to be coming up next. That video is basically going to show how you would typically draw the face, and you're going to see some of the struggles that I have when I do it the typical way, and why I start with the eyes down to the nose and then to the lips, because of some of the issues I have. And even when drawing in the cheeks like this, I would often get problem where I think it's not fat enough or it's the cheekbone isn't really that good. So here's the video that I show how most people would normally do it. So that top line there you see is going to be the hairline, the second line is where the eyes are going to be, and that top is going to be the head. Then you bring the center line all the way down. I was looking for my eraser, so then you just kind of take it down a bit lighter and you put in the defining part with the chin, and now you're ready to go in and put in the internal parts like the eyes, nose, mouth, ears. I didn't put ears on this one, but the ears are typically where the eyes are, go down all the way to the nose. So remember I mentioned that the face can be split up into 5 equal parts, so in between is usually enough space for a second eye, and right in between that bridge you take it up to form your eyebrows. And to get where the nose is, remember I mentioned that the pupil can take it down to where the nose is, and right below you can have your lips, a little space down below. And as you can see, I had some issue where I draw the chin a bit too down and I had to erase it and bring it back up. That is why I start with the eye and then make the face around it. So that's how I go about doing the face, but you can try it this way, even though there is going to be a little bit of difficulty. I did make some points that I want to talk about, so I don't just ramble on and on about the video like I usually do in my previous video. Now drawing the nose. There are many different ways to drawing a nose. I suggest you find your style. This is mine. You can use this one if you want to, or if you found this cute side nose that you like doing. The side nose, with a little curve, won't really fit well into this one because the face is facing forward. So maybe you can do like a little circle for the nose. That really won't be a problem. Just make sure you identify where the nose holes are. If you just want a little circle, that will also be nice. Now cheeks, when it comes to drawing the cheeks, it's based on your choice. You can choose to have luscious cheeks with a very defined cheekbone, or you can choose to draw the face straight with no cheeks. It's depending on what character you want. And now to mixing the colors. I know this is all going a bit fast and I haven't even talked about hairline, but we will just now. Mixing the colors, you mix yellow and red, and if you want to go darker, you're going to have to add a little blue, but to get the skin color, you're going to need to add some white to that yellow and red. So it's yellow, red, and white. Very little on the red, a little bit more heavy on the yellow, and reasonable amount on the white. Just keep mixing until you think you found a reasonable amount. And remember, if you want to go darker, you just add a little bit of blue to it. I've little, not a drop, just like a little smidge of blue, and that will help to take the color a bit darker than this. Now I painted this a bit different from what I've painted other girl, but I got the same results. Well, no, actually I got slightly different results. So when it comes to painting the face, you can choose to painting it in pieces and just like leaving the color separate and going in adding it piece by piece, or you can do like what I did and paint it all in one. I did a video where I went in a little by little with it. Actually, I think I did 2 videos like that. And looking at it right now as it is, it looks kind of creepy. Like you're just seeing this face with white eyes, white eyebrows, and a white mouth, and then the hands, they look really small. So until the painting is complete, it just looks like a really huge head with very tiny arms. So I had some of the brown paint already in the pan, so I didn't really need to mix a lot more. So I just tried to like reactivate that and use it. And something that I like about this very cheap Crayola water paint is that it's easy to reactivate. But something that I don't like about it is that it doesn't really show up that well. Now painting in the cheeks, what I did was add a little darker red to the outline, and then went in with a lighter type of red, and I keep going lighter and lighter until it could basically blend into the skin color. And then to highlight the cheek area and the nose, I went in with just the white. And remember how I mentioned that the white blends right in, sort of? So I was able to just go in with the white and make some parts stand out than others with it. And now we're going to get to, well, actually we're still highlighted, but we're coming up to painting in the eyes and the eyebrows. So make sure that you get it to the amount that you want, and that would be it. Now painting in the eyes, it's a bit tricky when it comes here. You get your very fine paintbrush and you get your black paint, and just remember that the eye can be a reflective thing, so make sure that you can show a little bit of light reflecting in it with just leaving some blank spots around the pupil area. And also the black that you can use for the eye, you can use it to define your nose and put in your eyebrows. For me, I just paint it on. I don't really put much detail into the eyebrows because, like I said, I don't know how I would go about putting so much detail into the eyebrow. As for the corners of the eye, like inside that white area, it is not always white. There's some gray to it, so just remember to put in the gray. And as for the pupil itself, I added a little bit of gray, and then I went in with the green to give it some more color. The last video I did, I just went in with the green, and I figured that it just looked a bit plain and it's just the green. And hopefully this one looks as though the eyes have a little bit more details to it than just being the green. As for the lips, I put the top lip a bit darker, where I mixed the pink with a bit of gray, and then the bottom lip I mixed the gray and the pink with a little bit of white, so it will be a little bit more lighter in terms. And then I went over back with the darker brown, just adding a little bit more details, especially around the area with the nose, so the nose won't look as flat as it would usually look. And now it's time to painting the teddy bear. Now I used the same brown as the skin color because I've had some left over, but of course that's not going to be the final touch. I've mentioned it before with layers, and then I went in back with the fingers that were showing to add some details in there, so it doesn't look like everything is connected in one. And painting the teddy bear, I just basically dotted my brush several times to let the paint onto it so it will look as though it has a bit of texture. And as for the nose and mouth area, I went in with a little bit of pink paint, started light and then moved to dark so it will show a little bit of details. And as for the ears, I started dark and then add a little white in the center, and I put a very light sort of white onto the fingernails, and I added a little bit more white to the lips and some of the darker pink there to maybe show a little bit more details. And then when it came to her band, I painted that in all black, and the nose and mouth for the bear are painted in brown. Now I don't really know much about the hair, but her hair, it was she's using a Snapchat filter, the ones with the butterflies, so I had to remember to include that when I'm painting the hair, not just paint over it and completely forget about it. So what I did was went in with the black first to show some highlights of where and how the hair is flowing, and then I went in with a really dark brown to put in some more spots, and I just basically went back and forth with the dark brown and the black until her entire head was complete except for the spots where they have the butterflies. So this is basically how it is, and I sort of like how it's come along, but I still think the arms look a bit weird because her head is so big, and this is not the full picture. There wasn't a full photo because it was just something that was on my Snapchat that I had taken down. So these are very old and the full photo was never there, so there's no way I'm getting the full image. And I know I could have just made up something and put it in, but I didn't want to, and I just left it like that. As for the teddy bear, I went in back with a little bit of darker brown to just basically show and give some more details there than for it to just be such a light brown all the time. You know, teddy bear fur, it's going here, there and ever, so there's never really a smooth something going on. Now it's time to basically go in and just put in the little butterflies, and with the flower they would have some glittery little white dots. I used the white paint to put in. It's not really glittering, but hey, it's still the dots, so there's not really much to complain about. And I just added 2 dots to the side of the eyes. Now I went in, after I finished with this here, I got the glitter pen and decided to trace over it, but I really like how this came out, so I'm not sure if I did a mistake in tracing over it, because looking at it without the ink on it, it looks pretty sweet. Like her face just looks really nice, but then tracing it over it, right now it looks a bit weird with the ink. But I still like it. In the end, I like the finishing piece that I got, especially with the nose and the mouth. As you can see, the string has been loose, so the mouth is no longer smiling. It has this weird shape to it. And now I came in and decided to put in the details with the butterflies that are usually from the filter. These details are in white, but I figured since I'm using the white for the glitter, I will do the details like this. Now it's coming up to the end of the video. I hope you like this video, and I hope you subscribe for more content like this.